All right, guys, it's Friday, and I made some hamburger steaks in a brown gravy. I bought these already patted up at Walmart, 80-20%. Yes. So I seasoned them up really well, added some grease to the skillet, and then I just added some flour. I sprinkled flour over the meat. I didn't dip them in flour. That's going to help make my gravy. I cut up some onion and bell pepper and garlic and added that as I was searing these to give them flavor. They could get that flavor of the onion and bell pepper and garlic as I was browning them. Now I'm adding them all back into the skillet. And I know you're going to say, girl, you needed a larger skillet because it was about 12 of these, I think. But it's going to work because as they cook, they're going to, shrink down a little bit. So I'm just adding all of them back to the skillet. Now, like I say, I added flour as I was searing them. And, my grandfather taught me that you don't need to fry up a bunch of flour and grease to make your gravy. You don't need to buy no gravy packet. This is going to be a nice brown gravy. You'll see. Excuse me. You will see. I'm adding some hot water now. And once you add this water, you have to come back and season it again because, hey, that's just water with no seasoning. And this meat was bought already pre-patted, so it's not like I was able to put seasonings all throughout the meat. So I'm adding some, like I said, I seasoned this with onion powder, garlic powder, black pepper, Sazon, Italian, basil, oregano, adobo, some complete, some cayenne pepper, parsley. I used a little bit of everything, but not a lot of each of those because they have salt in it. I don't really use white salt other than when I'm cooking some rice, or I added some to the water when I made my mashed potatoes because I cooked some mashed potatoes as well. Oh, and I used some soul food seasoning. Look at all that seasoning on top of this meat. Yes, and it's going to get that water season. There's my Sazon. Sazon gives food a good flavor. Yes, it does. And I also use some Goya. It's in a little yellow packet. There's the adobo. Now that adobo is salty, so don't use a lot of that. But I use some adobo seasoning. Actually chicken seasoning, just a little bit. It gives gravy, it gives the food a good flavor. It doesn't taste like chicken, but I know you're saying chicken with beef. There it is, guys. They have it in beef as well, but I was just out of the beef, so I added a little bit of the chicken. When you're cooking, you can be creative. Just do what you want to do, something that you know your family will like, as long as it's not too out of the ordinary. And like I said, it didn't mess up my flavor at all. I was having a hard time getting it out of there. Look at that meat is starting to come to a boil. One thing I wish I would have done, I wish I would have chopped up just a few more onions and threw it on top as well. But I didn't. I still had enough at the bottom of the pan, but I should have cut up some more onions and maybe even some more bell peppers and threw it on top. Because onions and bell pepper really gives the meat and the gravy good taste as well, good flavor. So I'm just turning them over now. Yep. Trying to let them all hit that gravy. You see, they're not done at all. See how pink they are? They're going to go in the oven on 375 for about an hour and 20-30 minutes. Yeah. I let them cook a really long time because I wanted that gravy to come together and get nice and thick and brown and savory. And it did, guys. Yes, look at that. I'm trying to dig at the bottom, move them all around. I probably could have used a larger skillet to begin with, but like I said, they're going to cook down once they get in the oven, and all of them will have a chance to marinate in that gravy, okay? Have you ever cooked these? How do you cook your homemade hamburger steaks with gravy? Let me know. Let me know. Do you eat them with rice? You could do some green beans and corn as well. There they are, guys. I'm adding the parsley now. Then I'm going to cover them up and put them in the oven. Look at that. Look at that pot of goodness. Look at that skillet of goodness. Who wouldn't want this on a Friday or even a Sunday or a Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday? There's a cayenne pepper. And don't forget a Thursday. adding some cayenne pepper, just enough to give it a little kick because everyone can't do spicy and you don't want to overspice your food. Then people will not be able to enjoy it, okay? Look at that. Look at that. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Y'all, when I tell you it was good, there they are in the oven baking. They're not done. As you can see, they're still, pink. I'm just showing you they've been baking for about 20 or 30 minutes. There's my mashed potatoes, a little black pepper and parsley and butter on that. That was just some store-bought potatoes, yeah, box potatoes. I didn't feel like cutting up no potatoes and all that today on a Friday. No, 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 no. But look at that gravy, guys. Didn't I tell y'all the gravy was going to come together? You didn't need no packet of gravy mix. You didn't need to fry up no bunch of flour to make your gravy. Just sprinkle you some flour on your meat. You could do that with steaks and chicken as well. Just sprinkle them with flour as you're browning them or searing them. Then later on you add that hot water and this is what you'll get. A beautiful brown gravy. Thanks for watching. Let's eat.